TikTok is suing the US because they try to do everything to not get banned. But before we get into that, let's first look at Meta Verified and their insane pricing plan. Well, not increases, just new plans available. As you can see, after 1 year, you can pay up to $500 per month as a business. This is not for personal creators like me and probably you. Nonetheless, it's very interesting to look at what you get for these different plans. I'm currently not verified, as you can see, but I want to start an experiment soon where I pay for Meta Verified and see if it actually has any impact on my, well, follower count, the impressions I get on my reels, which as you can see aren't that high, and possibly other statistics that I'm not aware could increase or improve that actually are impactful. Now back to Meta Verified for businesses. Let's look at the most expensive plan that you can start to subscribe to right now. It starts at a discount for the first year, $350 per month. What you get is the verified badge, impersonation protection. So they monitor with bots, I'm pretty sure, if you get impersonated as a brand. I'm not sure how effective this is because it happens still a lot based on what I see and hear. You get Meta Verified support, which could be helpful. But again, for the important things where you actually want help, for example, your account get banned because someone doesn't like you, pays to get you banned. I'm not sure if this is actually useful, but it could be. This one is interesting. So as you can see, this is the enhanced profile is part of the more expensive plans. And as you can see, the volume increases and the volume for business addresses. So you can share up to 8 business addresses. That's for companies who have a lot of locations across the world. And you can showcase 8 of your other profiles. So that is interesting. For example, you can have Unilever, right? And you have Unilever Careers Benelux. Well, you can see it in here, Argentina, all these different countries. You can do this, and I think it is actually useful if you have a brand or you're starting one to create different accounts. It requires a lot of management, but you could see that as an experiment to provide localized social media posts, which of course they tend to have higher engagement rates because people prefer their local language, and some people actually only speak their local language and not English. And of course, with tools like HeyGen, you can now generate your original footage. For example, this video in English, you can, if you want to, you can basically translate it without just translating the captions, but me speaking in a different language with also in my tone of voice, if you want to train the tool for that. As you can see in a lot of different languages. So that makes the management for different brand accounts more easy if you want to do that. So that's what you get for the plan. You can now showcase those other profiles as well on your main profile, your biggest one, or on all the other ones, of course. Now, search optimization, that is interesting. I'm not sure how that will play out, especially when there are other brands that have a similar or the same brand name almost, because that is possible. You can have the same brand name as long as the other brand is within a different category or just different country. They can be the same brand name. Of course, not the same handle, but as you can see, it will probably get you to the top of the list unless you have a very similar brand name as one of the bigger companies. Now, this one is interesting, and I could understand that this is a valuable option, not for the price. I think the price to value ratio is extremely poor on this, and I think very few businesses are willing to pay for this. But there will be still a lot of volume of businesses that will pay for these plans, because for them it's not a lot of money. I mean, if you look at the Unilevers of this world, they don't care about spending this, and they will. And I think mainly because of this feature, it will be valuable because they can now add links in Reels, which is, to my understanding, that's the first time that it is possible. And as you can see, you get 6 links in your Reels per month that you can add. So 6 Reels per month can have a link in the most expensive plan that starts from 2. And of course, if you are a Unilever, that can drive a lot of extra engagement, which could already be worth this high price tag. But for small brands, this is not realistic. The featured account section could be useful as well. I think less useful than the links in Reels, but you can now get featured. I think they do this in the feed, as you can see from this image. They might also do this when you are on a profile as well, like on someone's profile or a brand profile, and you follow them, then you might pop up as one of the other companies they can follow. But I think they start to recommend this within the feed. Although I'm not sure, because it's an extra placement they now put in the app or in the desktop version where they cannot show someone's post, and they can also not show an ad option, which of course makes them money. I'm not sure where they show this. I think on invaluable places for the most part. So I think this feature is not that valuable. And then we have employee impersonation protection. So you pay $350 per month, let's say as a Unilever, and you can protect 5 employees. That is interesting. So it seems like this includes now 5 people with their individual accounts can get the verified badge, which is interesting because that in of itself, well, it seems like they don't then get all these other features, which are not a lot, but that saves you $15 per month for those people. Yeah, well, it seems like they also get the other features, the other valuable features from this Meta Verified. I think most people only care about the verified badge. And before, there were rumors that it was increasing reach. Well, there was not only rumors. Facebook actually mentioned it would increase reach if you paid for Meta Verified as a creator. And then later they removed it from their website. So that's why I want to try it for my own profile and see if it has actually an impact on reach. So if you want to see that, you know what to do. I mean, they just want to include more features. Like you get customized messaging chats. That's like nobody cares about this. You can now just set your colors. You cannot even set your own colors. This is the power that Meta has. They can charge $350 per month for the first year, and after that, $500 per month for all these, well, I would say let's keep it sweet. Very low price to value features. And at last, also you get a semi-annual 2 times a year account review in the highest plan. So you can schedule a call with one of their advisors. I think this is an internal employee of Meta. And of course they limit this to also countries. Very few countries actually. US as usual, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Argentina, Italy, France, Chile, Peru and Canada. And of course this applies to Facebook and Instagram. But it is even more expensive if you want to get the subscription for both your Facebook and Instagram brand. Now back to the TikTok ban. They have launched a legal challenge against the US government, saying that the approved bill is unconstitutional and unfounded because it is actually designed to ban the app. Of course, they tried to find as many reasons as possible to keep the app alive and a big part of their worth in the US. And they say one of the reasons is that there is no reason for them to ban the app other than hypothetical possibilities that the app is an actual threat, a security threat. And it really seems like they will not divest TikTok to any US investor / company. Honestly, I think, based on my limited knowledge, I really don't think they will try to sell the app, because I really think China is not allowing them to do this for obvious reasons. And if they do, then they're not allowed, without permission from China, from the Chinese government, to sell their algorithm, which of course, as you know, is one of, if not the best, on all the social media platforms. Maybe not from a user perspective, but definitely from a company perspective and average view duration, etc., etc. So it seems like they will be shut down in the US by January 19th, 2025. I'm not sure if this includes the extension, which could be possible if Biden sees progress in the sell-off process. But I think TikTok definitely prefers the option to not sell, obvious, but in this whole process to just get removed from the US, maybe try to get back later, but keep all the other countries alive and focuses mainly on the EU.
Everyone, show here.
And what I started to notice, it's a small thing, but I started to notice that on my own TikTok, I averaged around very low views, as you can see, 300 views per video roughly, a little bit less actually, but then it doubled. So I'm not sure where these impressions out of nowhere come from, but I think maybe more creators stopped creating, or they now try to push European creators, because I'm from Europe, and they already tried to make that switch and keep or increase the European creators, or maybe better said, push more content from European creators or anything outside of the US. But I really think that all their efforts, all the TikTok efforts, won't lead to anywhere, because there was a unanimous vote of, I believe, everyone in the Congress that voted for the bill to be approved. And besides that, you have of course the elections coming up And TikTok could play a big role in that. But I think TikTok is also considering, okay, if we get banned in the US, then will Europe follow? Will these other countries follow? Because if they do, well, then it's much better to sell off their whole company, of course. So it's definitely a difficult situation for the CEO there. So what they're also pushing on is that it could be used, this bill could be used more broadly in the future, which of course is possible. But the bill itself still has a quite narrow scope because it focuses on any foreign adversary. So not just any app can get banned, only when there are real security concerns, which is obvious for TikTok. And of course, from outside of the US and Facebook, all their efforts and all their money spent on the US politicians and sponsoring has worked, because I see a very high chance that TikTok now gets banned. And now we have to wait what will happen here. I think it's pretty obvious, but let's see. If you want to see more about why TikTok may get banned, and especially if CapCut also gets banned and how that will play out, you can watch this video next. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest social media news, then you know what to do. Talk soon.